And CDR, do you copy?
CDR copies, last available.
That's great news, and you heard the NTD verify that with the commander of the mission.
GLS is go for FTS arm.
Now work is being done to arm the flight termination system. This is so the range safety can send a flight termination command if the rocket flies too far off track. There's a brief built-in delay so the launch abort system has time to pull the astronauts to safety
first. GLS is go for LH2 high flow bleed check.
All right, the high flow bleed check. That's so the cryo team gets verification that the RS-25 engines, all 4 of them, are in the proper temperature range for launch.
Yeah, this is crazy. All right, well, we get the launch of the Artemis II coming up here. It's going to be going to the moon and then slingshotting around the moon and going further away from Earth than anybody's ever gone before. And there's only 4 minutes left here, so let's see what the hell happens.
Core stage APU start.
Core stage APUs start. Those are auxiliary power units. High-speed turbines, which provide pressure to hydraulic pumps that steer the RS-25 engines. We're going to see a gimbal test a little later at T-minus 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is what allows that to happen.
Hold on. I'm going to make it
about 20 seconds.
Bigger,
We're listening
better,
for go for purge sequence 4. That's a helium purge of the 4 core stage engines downstream of the propellant valve. This gets all the air and moisture
like it's not taking up the whole screen again. No.
GLS is go for purge sequence 4.
Moving through the milestones.
There we go.
All is looking good.
2 minutes, 59 seconds.
In just a few seconds, we're going to get that thrust vector control actuator test. This is a gimbaling of the engines. There are the 4 RS-25s, 3 of them Shuttle Heritage, 1 of them built from shuttle parts. And there you see them moving.
I don't know why we haven't been back. And by the way, people who think we've never landed on the moon, you're morons.
From both the upper stage and the lower stage of the rocket to internal. Taking ground power away and now going to battery power.
We haven't, Gray. Prove to me. Well, I haven't been there myself.
All right, power is removed from the rocket's upper stage. The ICPS, and it's been switched to battery.
This is crazy, man. I hope it just goes all smooth here.
Seconds. Right now, the 4-person Artemis II crew is 248,000
we're flying around the moon, and then in 2028 we're going back to the moon.
In 6 days.
GLS is go for core stage to internal power.
All right, there's the rocket's core stage, which houses 3 flight computers, is now on its own power. There's no more hold time because there's no more margin on these batteries. So we would have to recycle back to T-minus 10 to recharge if we had a hold.
One minute.
Right now, the rocket does not know what the T0 is, but coming up at T-minus 33 seconds, control shifts from the ground launch sequencer to the rocket's onboard autonomous launch sequencer, or ALS. The rocket will count itself down, but honor any holds that will come from the ground.
Imagine what you'd feel like on
shortly
this.
After liftoff, Houston will take control of the rocket, and my colleague Gary Jordan will take over commentary.
GLS, go for ALS.
Great call out. The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff.
Oh, jeez.
The crew of Artemis II now bound for the moon.
Come on.
Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
AMT high.
It's weird that we still use rockets after all this time. Just same old, you know.
Target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance on the 4 main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour.
Not sure what that picture is.
Mission elapsed time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transfer confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis II mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour. Minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation.
Yeah, that's the part that's always...
9-second mark.
What's that flame there? What's going on with that?
We see throttle down. Confirmed separation. Main engine's throttling up, guidance converged.
Oh, sweet.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.
Copy all, Stan.
Integrity, SM priming complete.
Wow, those aren't the ones Elon Musk make that land, right? Those solid rocket
2
boosters.
minutes 45 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. Thrusters on Integrity and upper stage confirmed in a ready state ahead of service module fairing separation. Three minutes into the flight, Integrity 49 miles in altitude, 78 miles downrange, now passing 5,000 miles per hour.
Once it gets into space, man, it starts going like way faster than that. Seems like 30,000.
Standing by for launch abort system jettison.
Houston Integrity, good last jettison, great view.
Copy jettison, Team Eco 8+02.
We see the same on board, Stan.
And Houston has you loud and clear on Tidris at the Kármán line.
Outstanding, Stan, we have you the same.
3 minutes 50 seconds into the flight of Artemis II, Wiseman, Glover, Cook, and Hansen cross the boundary to space with good comm checks.
I saw all them
GPS signals
playing
acquired
cards
after
this
last
morning.
jettison, now working on internal checks to verify accuracy. Flight Dynamics Officer analyzed the time of main engine cutoff, confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds, time of MECO.
They play cards to get rid of bad luck. They play until the captain doesn't win or something. Or the flight leader, I guess. CNN was probably rooting for it not to make it.
Integrity, GPS processing.
Outstanding, Stan. We see the same, and we have a beautiful moonrise. We're headed right at it.
Approaching 5 minutes into the flight, Commander Reed
Wow, I
Wiseman
wonder where that
confirms
camera
he
is.
can
That's
pass
crazy.
visuals of his destination. GPS guidance, navigation, and control software finishes internal checks and sends to navigation channels.
Integrity 3, engine press.
3 engine press.
On time, now passing 5 minutes 20 seconds of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, 3 good main engines are all that's needed to carry Integrity to a nominal main engine cutoff target. Though at this time, we're seeing 4 good engines here in Mission Control Houston. Integrity, 75 miles in altitude, 330 miles downrange, approaching 10,000 miles per hour.
Integrity looking good at 6 minutes.
Same on board, Stan.
Good trajectory and engine performance. Booster officer will soon report the shutdown plan to Flight Director Judd Friedling, expected at the 7-minute mark.
That's obviously not a...
Integrity, 78
Is that a real... That's not
miles
a
in
real picture, is
altitude,
it?
460 miles.
That can't be
downrange.
real.
Integrity, expect nominal shutdown.
Integrity copies nominal shutdown.
Six minutes 40 seconds of mission elapsed time. Shutdown plan is as expected. Again, the time of MECO was confirmed at 8 minutes 2 seconds into the flight. Seven minutes of mission elapsed time.
Yeah, it's not far at all.
Throttling down as we approach the abort once around option. Milestone at the 7-minute 30-second mark.
Oh, once around the Earth,
Now 84
abort
miles
option.
in altitude, 650 miles downrange, traveling more than 15,000 miles per hour.
Integrity AOA open.
AOA open.
The window is now open for an abort once around option that would target splashdown
Yeah.
in the Pacific Ocean. Still following
Yeah, just
nominal
rest up
ascent
there,
at this
Wild
time.
Bill Oscar. Having teeth pulled sucks. But if you guys want to help support this channel, that'd be fantastic. I put out a video earlier that nobody
About
watched.
10 seconds
so,
remaining until the main
you know,
engine
gotta
cutoff of
try
the
to make
Space
it
Launch System
somehow.
core stage. Standing by for confirmation of MECO and core stage separation.
So high up there. That's not, I don't think that's, oh cool, that's a real feed there.
Integrity and nominal MECO, core stage separated.
But that's not a real live picture, I can't imagine. That doesn't, how would you get that shot?
We see the same on board, Stan.
I mean, I think they're sort of animating and showing us how this works.
8 minutes 40 seconds into the flight, we have a nominal
thanks,
main engine
Wild Bill.
cutoff heading in the right trajectory on the way to swing around the moon. Core stage has separated, done its job. The Space Launch System upper stage, the Inner Rim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage, or ICPS, still attached to the Orion spacecraft. Nine minutes of mission elapsed time. Integrity crew of Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen now in orbit around the Earth at the beginning of their journey to the moon.
No.
Integrity Houston looking ahead to PRM numbers so far per the pad.
This isn't, I'm just saying, they have video, all the rest of it until now. This is just a model, and they're showing us
Copy that, Stan. Numbers for
what's
the pad.
happening.
Capcom Stan Loves now reminding the crew that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition is as expected prior to Booster ignition. That time being 49 minutes, 50 seconds of mission elapsed time.
It's going 18,000 miles an hour now. That means it could go almost around the Earth in about an hour and 10 minutes or so. Hour and 15 minutes. Hey, thanks.
Integrity, good.
It's
net
Amy Darcy.
deploy.
It's Amy Darcy Marie. All right.
Copy that, Stan. Good, Neds.
Hey, thanks, Treva. How's it going? How you guys doing?
And Integrity Houston for PWD setup. Just a reminder, halfway open on the secondary.
How's Dennis doing?
We copy that, Stan. Halfway open.
And yourself?
Passing 11 minutes of mission elapsed time. Here, overhearing the conversation between Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman, already passing some milestones. We have a good nozzle extension deployment system. That is confirmed. Complete. We also have the visors are confirmed up. Now past the dynamic phase of flight, that is Ascent. Their launch and entry suits.
Very cool. Good to hear.
That provided them an extra layer of protection. Now not as needed.
I always
They're
feel
going
better
to
once
raise
they
those
get into
visors.
space. It's leaving the Earth atmosphere
And
that makes
later
me
in
nervous.
today's mission, they will begin to egress or
I mean,
get
I don't
out
feel
of the
nervous.
suits to begin some of their
When they're in space.
initial tasks of activating some of the systems aboard in the Integrity spacecraft. It's passing 12 minutes of mission elapsed time. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that's targeted near 50 minutes of mission elapsed time, 49 minutes, 50 seconds. That's what the crew is going to be working towards.
Hey, we can rewind it a little
Wiseman
bit.
pilot Victor
Hold on.
Glover will focus
Of the rocket.
Integrity. Have you the same?
So if you missed the beginning, let's go
4
back.
brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15 seconds.
And here we go.
That's pretty
10,
crazy. Why?
9,
You know,
8,
just-
7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff.
That just happened
The crew
10
of
minutes
Artemis
ago.
II now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
I can't wait for the images, by the way. How much clearer they're going to be now.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis II mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high.
Yeah, that was horrible, the Challenger. That's,
On time has
I always hate watching that mom
Integrity
who's
has
watching her daughter die.
target milestone. Mission Control
Yes.
Houston seeing good performance.
Suck.
Four main engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity 3 miles in altitude.
So that's what it did. That's, it got up into space and everything. So now we're back to live. That was only about 10 minutes ago.
Still miles around the moon, Houston. But for now, we're going to send it back to you, Megan and Nicole at the Kennedy Space Center.
All right.
Very jealous to hear how the launch experience was over on the Space Coast.
Yeah, Gary, if people are just joining us, welcome back to the Space Coast, where we just saw Artemis II lift off 14 minutes ago. And wow, what an amazing launch, and an emotional one too. As soon as the rocket lifted off, Nicole, you had tears in your eyes, I had tears in my eyes, and we had all these people around us cheering. It was amazing.
Yeah, the energy was wonderful. I mean, it was a beautiful launch. We've got 4 friends and family members headed to the moon. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, how does that
Yeah.
make you feel as someone who
Yeah, they're not landing,
is an
they're just
astronaut as
going
well, but also,
around.
as you said, friends?
Yeah, so just so proud of them. I man, we don't have the words in the English language to describe this kind of an event. And
I mean, the thing is, we haven't even been back orbiting the moon for like 50 years. I mean, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And hopefully, you know, as Gary just said, they've got a long day ahead of them, so wishing them well on everything. But so far, what a beautiful launch to watch.
Yeah, to be returning to the lunar orbit in more than 50 years.
Yeah.
Maybe they
How
go farther
stupid.
from Earth than any
Why
other
not?
humans before them. Maybe they see.
You know, by the way, why not build the space station on the moon instead of like flying around out there? You know, you don't need much fuel to get it off the lunar surface.
Parts of the moon that we've never seen before. I mean, what? Yeah. Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, we saw some beautiful shots.
Right, so there's the back of the moon.
Covering,
you know?
Of course, the rocket, of course, the Earth up into our Ascent, but also some of those crowd shots where we saw young.
Yeah, so we don't get to ever see the back side of the moon. So they're going to be going over there. Hopefully they get some really good shots.
We saw that today. We saw that. And yeah, you guys just saw that view, the sunrise or sunset, I guess. They just made it over the crest of the Earth, and you could see the sun peeking over. One of my favorite views from space, and I can't imagine what they're looking at now, and I can't wait to see what they're looking at in about 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, and you know, I know a lot of people are like, you know what, I'm surprised.
The dark side is where the alien base is, you guys.
We have to
with the domes.
Keeping safety in mind. And
Richard C. Hoagland told us.
We were ready to go, and I think it surprised a lot of people. What a wonderful surprise on this Wednesday evening.
It did, you know, and it kind of surprised me as well. But, you know, it's just a testament to the team here that has been working so hard on Artemis. You know, Artemis 1, we learned a ton of lessons. We learned a ton from the wet dress for Artemis 2. We were able to go in, fix those things. We even had a couple mishaps today, not mishaps, but a couple, you know, anomalies today that the team creatively came up with solutions for. It's just a testament
Just
to
communication
the teamwork that gets us to the moon.
And so we can continue to watch Christina, Reed, Victor, and Jeremy on their way now to the moon in Earth's orbit and awaiting the next in-flight milestones, deploying Orion's solar arrays. So why don't we get back in?
Yeah, so
with
I don't think
Mission
they're in,
Control
you know.
and Gary.
You know what's interesting is there must be this place, you know, because the moon has its own orbit and gravitational pull, right? There must be an area that you could be where you're far enough away from the Earth that the gravitational pull is equal to the pull from the moon. So you're just sort of like held in position there. There's got to be a place like that. Because the moon, you know, it's got a constant distance, pretty close anyways, from the Earth. So there's got to be a place where once you get far enough out, the pull from the Earth drops to a certain point, and then the moon's pull equals. I don't know. It'd be cool to see if they could put something in that, just like it sits there, and it doesn't fall, it doesn't go. I mean, I guess at some point, maybe the Earth, maybe it goes. The moon is a little bit, you know, slightly changes distance every once in a while, I guess. So maybe that would affect that. I don't know.
Momentary prop caution.
And Reed, no action. We're looking at it.
I hadn't either until just now. I never thought of that myself.
Commander Reed Wiseman verifying what is being routed to his displays aboard Integrity. Propulsion engineer confirming that no action is needed at this time. They're pressing through with their nominal procedures to prepare for the perigee raise maneuver. And of course the solar array wing deploy ahead of that. The solar wing deploy is a critical milestone. We'll continue to have our coverage follow the mission until that deployment. Successful launch is just the beginning. The deployment of the solar arrays and successful confirmation that those solar array wings are drawing power.
Yes.
Is a significant
there is a place where the gravitational pull from Earth and the moon are equal. It's called the L1 Lagrange point in the Earth-Moon system.
Oh, that's cool.
Where is this point? Kitty. It lies on the straight line between Earth and the moon. It is much closer to the moon than to Earth.
That's what I was thinking.
Roughly 326,000 kilometers from Earth, about 85% of the way to the moon.
Because you have
Why
to be
it's
far enough away.
not in the middle.
Well,
Even though you might expect the balance point to be halfway,
No, you
it isn't. Because Earth
has much
is
harder,
about
stronger.
81 times more massive than the moon. So its gravity is much stronger. To balance that, you must be closer to the moon. Important nuance. This is where it gets interesting. If you're thinking strictly, where are the gravitational forces equal? That point is slightly different from the true L1 point. Two related concepts. Equal gravitational pull point, where Earth's and Moon's gravity cancel out. No motion
Right.
considered.
That's what I want.
This is a pure force balance. Lagrange point, L1, takes into account the fact that the system is rotating. Includes centrifugal effects. Objects placed here can hover relative to Earth and Moon. So, the equal force point and L1 are very close, but not identical. Why this matters? Space agencies use Lagrange points for spacecraft positioning. They allow objects to stay in a relatively stable spot with minimal fuel. Example,
Right.
satellites can park there to monitor Earth or deep space. Simple way to picture it. Imagine Earth pulling hard, Moon pulling weak. You move toward the Moon until both pulls feel equal.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I was just thinking. That you'd have to be far enough away from the Earth that the pull would be equal to the moon. I guess they already used that for something. So there you go, you guys. We thought of it without even knowing about it.
Some preliminary numbers of when to expect handovers between the tracking and data relay satellites. Currently orbiting Earth at an altitude of 545 statute miles above the Earth. They are in a near-Earth network communication system. The tracking and data relay satellites, geosynchronous satellites that are stationed about 23,000 miles above the Earth. After G-rays burn, that occurs later today, the burn itself will put them in an altitude that surpasses the range of the tracking and data relay satellites, and they will transition to the deep space network today.
And integrity for prop messages.
There must be
we
satellites
see two
way
temperature
past the moon
measurements
out
right
there.
near the line. It's that momentary message you saw earlier. We're going to suppress those. It's CM helium heater 2 T1 and
The problem is if
1 T1. They're going suppressed.
there must be a distance that satellites don't orbit the Earth anymore. Because, you know, once you get them into their the gravitational pull orbit and speed, so you have to have the speed match the pull, and it keeps rotating at this certain altitude. But if you get to a point where the Earth's gravity isn't pulling anymore, then I'm not sure how that works. You know, unless you have some fuel on there that you it's sort of hovering out there, and it's using solar panels to generate power, you know, electricity, and then uses that to sort of slightly adjust where it is from time to time. I don't know, it's pretty weird. Weird stuff.
Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our arrow visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the
Well, if you guys want to help support the channel, that'd be great. We can get the month started off
on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they look fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on.
Copy O2 sensors.
Be cool if we could hear from the actual astronauts.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays. And we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first.
All right. Anyways, I guess that'll do it.
Engine,
Nobody's commenting anymore, so
Houston, we see
that's
4
when
saws
it's time to
deployed
go.
and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
Yeah, we're
So it looks like they made it out there. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. At least we got to watch it live as it took off, made it into space. Thanks for being here. See you guys later.